What is up, YouTube? It's been a minute. I'm sorry. I honestly got overwhelmed over the summer and was working a lot, doing all this. Not to make excuses, but I let my content and my YouTube stuff, and I put that way on the back burner. I was like, I don't need this stuff for right now. But now that I'm back at school, back in a routine, I feel like I can start popping out these YouTube videos. So today I'm gonna be taking y'all through a leg day. Nothing fancy, just my normal Friday leg day. Starting off here on the adductor. I didn't skip it, I just didn't film it. I did my abs already, so I did 4 sets of hanging leg raises just to get blood flow, and my abs are a weak point, so I always start with abs. But we'll get into the rest of the workout here, show you some working sets, nothing too crazy. It's just what a leg day looks like. I might show you some physique update, or I might leave that for another video, but if anything, we're just gonna do a trial little leg day. Help me get back in the swing of filming and get these videos back rolling, hopefully 1 to 2 per week, because I do have some pretty exciting stuff planned for the future, and that's already going on that I just haven't talked about. So stay tuned, let's get it. Here comes the gym pin, baby. All right, so here we pinned a 45 onto the stack. The stack on this machine is already a heavy one, so adding a plate on here, it makes it really, really heavy. It's not like one of those ones that's just a super light stack and you can do your first warm up with the stack. That's not this one. But adding a plate does add a good bit of weight, so we're gonna roll with that. Last week we got it for about 8 reps, so I would like to see that push up to 9, 10 reps before I add any more weight. All right, here on the second movement of the day, we're gonna do a seated leg curl. Here on this Nautilus brand, it's honestly probably my favorite one I've ever used. I've used a lot of leg curls as well. This one is just so smooth. You can honestly hear how smooth it is. Like, nothing's catching, nothing's, bouncing, the weight is constant throughout the whole set. So it's just a great hamstring movement, and it's training your hips or your hamstrings while you're in that lengthened position at the hip. So I believe this is slightly better than a lying ham curl. And I feel it a little bit better, so that's why I do the majority of my curls on the seated leg curl. Gym pin on the seat belt here, keeping me strapped back in the seat where I cannot go anywhere. Puts it all on the hamstrings. All right, so set number 1, we got 2 more reps than we did last week. So I'm probably just gonna stick with the same weight for all 3 sets. I'm doing 3 sets on this hamstring movement because my hamstrings are weak, hence why they're at the beginning of my leg day and why they get a little bit more volume, as opposed to you'll see most movements only get two sets. So we're doing 3 here on this ham curl, and then we'll get into the fun stuff. We'll do some quads. So like I said, 3 sets here, all in that 12, 10, 8-ish reps. That's where they ended up today. Same weight, all the sets, but I landed in that 8 to 12 rep range, which is perfect. Not much else to say. Let's move on to quads. All right, first quad movement of the day. We just finished up some hamstrings. We're on the leg extension now, warming up. Do like 3 or 4 warm-up sets, especially on that first movement for a muscle group. It's never gonna be too many warm-up sets. I would rather take a couple more, make sure I'm warm going into that top set. But anyways, we'll get into the top set here, working that 8 to 12 rep range across both sets. That's like my sweet spot for most leg movements is 8 to 12. Sometimes I'll go as low as 6, 7, and sometimes maybe 12 to 15, but 15's pushing it, to be honest, for me. I like 8 to 12, that's my sweet spot. I'm gonna do 280, which is 1 below the full stack. I've still never full stacked this one, but today I'm feeling pretty good, so we're gonna see how it goes. All right, so that was perfect right there. Nailed the rep range we were going for. 8 on the dot, barely. So we're gonna go back down a little bit. That was 280. Probably do something like 235. Drop it a couple, get a good set there in that 10 to 12 rep range, and then we'll move on to our squatting pattern for the day. All right, second set here. Let's get it. All right, so 2 sets on the leg extension, 1 set of 8, 1 set of 10. A little bit lower reps today, but that just means we can keep the weight the same next week and progress those reps up until they're back at the top of the rep range. But we're gonna move on to our squat pattern of the day. It's gonna be a pendulum squat. Let's get it. All right, so here we are on the pendulum squat. Not the greatest angle, but it's really all I can do. So it's gonna have to do. It's my first day on this one not first day ever, but we're swapping it for the hack. I was having a little issue out of my right quad last week, and the hack kind of puts it in a weird position. Feels a lot better on the pendulum squat, so that's what I'm gonna do today is run the pendulum and get some baseline numbers here. So let's get it. Fuck it, let's do it. All right, so we warmed up. We got 4 plates on here. This is actually the most I've ever put on this machine, even when I was running this consistently. I think I put 4 plates on there like twice. So we're gonna run it today. 3 plates felt super easy. So hopefully that jump to 4 is not too big. If it is, I'll probably pull it back, but we're gonna run it, see what we get, and go from there. One. Yes. Boo. Yes. Fuck yeah. All right, so that was perfect right there. We ended up getting 7. I maybe had 8 in there, but my first day on here, I really don't want to start that off failing a rep, risking more injury. At this point, it's just not worth it. I don't have a spotter here, so I'm just kind of going to my perceived failure. And with my leg, like I was saying, not being 100%, that was probably failure enough for me. So we're gonna go down and weight a little bit, aim for that 8 to 10 rep range, and then we'll move on to like a leg press from here. Yes! I don't know who's on the aux today, but shit's good. Anyways, that was a good set of 9. I'm out of breath. Quads are wrecked, as you can tell. That's it for pendulum squats for today. Now we're gonna move on to our leg press. Probably single leg. Here you'll see we are going on to the single leg press. Hip press, whatever you want to call it. It's a hammer strength piece and it tears my quads up. What I do here is I set the seat up as high or as far forward as I can while still being able to keep my foot on the platform as low as possible. So that just lets me get as much knee flexion, and that's gonna work my quad more than anything. Obviously, my glutes and my hamstrings and calves, all that stuff is still working. My goal here is just as much knee flexion so you can bias that quad a little bit more. You can't take the other muscle groups out, but you can shift the focus a little bit. Probably just one warm-up set. I'm pretty warm from the pendulum squat, so just get used to the movement and then we'll load her up. That's good. All right, little tip. When you're loading this machine up, there's 2 pins, 2 pegs to put your plates on. If you put them on this one that's a little bit higher, the weight is like cut in half. So ladies, when you're doing 4 plates on this one, it's not equivalent to doing 4 plates on the bottom peg. Just remember that, so. 4 plates and a 10 on there. See what we got. Yes! 2 sets we're gonna do here. We finished 1 already. We got 9 reps. So that's honestly like right in the middle of my range. You know, I like 8 to 12. So probably just gonna stick with the same thing and try and get 8. If I get 7, oh well. Goal is 8, obviously. But in that 7, 8 range, I'm gonna stick there because that weight felt really good. So let's get it. Whew. All right, so just like I said, we're wrapping up here. 2 sets. We got 9 reps and then 8 reps. Same weight. We're gonna move on to a hip thrust now. And that's our main leg movement for the day. So I will catch y'all when we finish up with some glutes. Because guys, we don't skip glutes over here, remember that. We don't skip calves either. We don't skip anything. All right, last main movement, like I said, we're ending off with some glutes. We're gonna warm up here. This machine is not very heavy. At least for me, it's not very heavy. So first set, warm up, we're gonna do 4 plates. Feel that out. Might do 1 more warm up, but we're just gonna see how it feels and go from there. All right, so 1 warm-up set's probably enough here. Hips feel nice and loose. We're gonna get into the working set here. Last week I did 6 plates. I think I can do a little bit more than that. I've done up to 7 before. 7's a stretch, especially when I'm on my own, but 6 1/4 I think is more than doable. So we're gonna run this, probably get Parker behind me here to give me a little spot, make sure that I don't miss that re-rack. But let's get it here. Hey, Parker. 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 Fuck. Maybe not. Might be on my own, but probably like somewhere from 6 to 8 reps. Fuck yeah. Whew. 7. We'll drop back a little bit. That was perfect. I didn't miss the re-rack. I think most of that is normally just me thinking I have another rep and I really don't. So like if I would have went for another rep after that, it would have just been a nightmare. So learning my limits and still pushing them. Perfect example right there. Let's get it. Whew. Appreciate that. Whew. All right, so that is gonna do it for my leg day for the most part. We finish off with calves and biceps. I'll throw a few clips in, but that stuff's pretty boring, so I'm not gonna bore you too much. It's just like 3 sets of standing calf raises. And then we'll do probably a preacher curl and a hammer curl just to knock off biceps. So, I'll catch you on those. Whew. 2 out of the 3 sets done. You'll see we take these sets just as serious as I would take anything else. True failure. I actually start to shake a little bit. I've noticed with all my calf movements, but I don't really know what that is. Probably just CNS. Fatigue by the end of the workout and such. But we got 11, then 10. Next set we'll probably stick with the same weight and aim for like 9. I mean, that would be obvious, so should be able to get that. Do some more biceps though. Braun's still cooking. Year like 22 or some shit. He's older than, he's been in the NBA as long as I've been alive, which is insane, but it's cool to see, man. I've been a Braun fan my whole life. But let's get back to this workout here. Right. Oh. All right, third and final set here at calves. We still got 2 more sets of preacher curls. I'm gonna knock this set out. We'll finish the preacher curls, and then we'll finish off with some hammer curls. I like to get some forearm work in there and just really get a good pump before I leave. So, get y'all on those. All right, so that was perfect. 8, 11, 10, 9. You need a spot? All right, let me do my left arm and then I'll come over there. It's asking me for a spot. So we're gonna wrap up here. One more spot. One more set with the left arm. I'm gonna go spot him and then we'll finish off. I'll catch you back on some hammer curls. Parker asked me for a spot here. I'm gonna show y'all how we get after it here at East Coast. All right, let's get it. Big set. Oh yeah, light. Good. 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 I like it. I like it, Parker. Let's go. Keep it moving. Good. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Good, keep it moving. Drive, good, lock it out, good. Good set. Good set. That is how you do it. All right, so we just got done spotting him. It gave me a little bit of rest. Now we're ready for some hammer curls. Nothing fancy here whatsoever, just 4 straight sets, traditional 2-arm hammer curls. It's my favorite way, get a crazy pump. Try not to think too much about it. Just grip it and rip it, baby. Let's get it. So we got like 11 on that first one. We're just gonna keep the weight the same. As soon as those reps dip below 10, we like to go down and wait. There we go. Last set of the day here. We finished legs. This is the last set of biceps, so we gotta leave everything we got. 35s for as many reps as possible. Pump, baby. Pump is A1, baby. Let's go. All right, that is gonna wrap it up for my leg session today. Quick rundown of the whole session. We start with abs, 4 sets of leg raises just to really get the hip flexors, the abs loose, everything, just to get everything warmed up really. And my abs are a weak point, so I like to start with weak points. From there, we got into the adductor machine, open up those hips a little bit more, just 2 sets. And then we move on to hamstring curls, get the hamstrings nice and loose before I go into any heavy compounds. And my hamstrings are a weak point as well, so I put those towards the beginning of the session. Next up, we got into leg extensions, 2 sets to get the quads loose. Then we got straight into our heavy compound of the day, which was a pendulum squat, 2 working sets there. Then onto a single leg press where we finished my quad work off with 2 sets of single leg press. And then always 2 sets of glutes. Today was on the hip thrust, 2 sets there to finish off legs. And then we got into my calf and bicep work. So 3 sets of standing calf raises, and then 8 sets total of biceps, split up between 4 sets of preacher curls, 4 sets of hammer curls, get a really good pump, and then call it a day. So I am gonna wrap the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna try and bring y'all some more content in the future, full day of eating. Any cheat meals, I haven't had one in a while, but if I do have one, I'll make sure to film it. Maybe some more training. Just let me know in the comments what y'all wanna see. We got some exciting stuff coming, so I'm excited to keep y'all in the loop and start creating some more content. But for now, this is Tyler signing off. I'll catch you in the next video.